Amongst Whis and Goku's training in the God Realm, it's revealed in the most recent chapter of Dragon Ball Super that there is actually far more to this form than we first realized, as even in Mastered Ultra Instinct, Goku was still no match for Whis. Dragon Ball Super Chapter 68 delivered quite a bit of information to us regarding, a ton of things we can expect in the coming months, most notably, lore concerning our new Cerulean character, Granola. However, in our first recap of Chapter 68, we didn't really get to go into much detail or speculation about what I feel was the real story surrounding Super's recent release. Goku, after returning to Beerus' planet with Vegeta to resume his training with Whis, enters the state of Mastered Ultra Instinct as we bear witness to their sparring match. Goku even uses an after-image technique to make more copies of himself to combat Whis, but none of this really helps as the angel is just far stronger than mortals can even fathom at this point. As Whis easily defeats Goku and his clones, Beerus and Vegeta spectate the battle from afar. "Copying me won't get you very far," Whis says after disarming Goku of his Ultra Instinct. This is when Vegeta goes on to ask Beerus, since Whis is so easily beating Goku still, is he too currently using Ultra Instinct during their battle? Well, that isn't exactly what's going on per se, Beerus starts, as he then informs us that for angels it's a bit different. They're always in a sort of constant state of Ultra Instinct, he says, indicating that it may be possible to master Ultra Instinct in the same way they mastered Super Saiyan, allowing the user to stay in this form for an unusually extended period of time. With one breakthrough comes another wall to be torn down, as Goku's mastered Ultra Instinct barely scratches the surface of what is possible and what the angels are capable of. Whis explains that there's various levels even when it comes to a power as absolute as Ultra Instinct. His instinct is far more developed than his brother Meris's was, and in turn, obviously, the Grand Priest's instinct is far more accurate than his own as well. What this spells out for Goku's future seems like the easiest softball pitch in history, while also sort of solidifying this idea that Vegeta may never actually obtain Ultra Instinct after all. This would be further supported when Vegeta himself even says that Ultra Instinct doesn't really suit his style of battle anyway, as Beerus asks if he plans on trying to master it too. Never get this misconstrued though, Vegeta is still as determined as ever to surpass Goku even in the latest years of Dragon Ball, but now, even amongst the ceiling of capabilities being completely blown off for Goku as he gains even more knowledge about Ultra Instinct, this is when Beerus goes on to tell him that if he still wants to surpass Goku or whatever, that yeah, there may still be a way, but that's completely up to Vegeta. The next words he spoke have been ringing in my head ever since I first laid eyes on this chapter, as he then went on to tell Vegeta, Ultra Instinct isn't the only technique of the gods. This one statement alone seems to have opened the floodgates of speculation throughout the Dragon Ball community, and for good reason too. The specialty of the angels, of course, doesn't seem to really suit a character like Vegeta, who has been rough around the edges since the start and always kind of retained that about himself. Whatever Beerus has planned to show Vegeta, however, seems to be much more up Vegeta's alley, not requiring him to be, pure of heart and tranquil as someone like Goku, or neutral like Whis. This was only the beginning of what's to come for the Prince though, and if Vegeta is really interested in the strength and true secrets surrounding the Gods of Destruction, he'll have to follow and watch Beerus, because this isn't a training session. If any of you guys want to check out the most recent chapter of Dragon Ball Super for yourselves, which I do highly recommend catching up on since a new arc is starting, as always, I recommend sites like Viz Media and the Shonen Jump app to always support the official releases for one of our most favorite all-time anime, so be sure to have those notifications on below to never miss an upload as soon as they go live, and if you've been enjoying all of the Dragon Ball content recently, consider leaving a like on this video as well, it really helps out a ton. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all anime related content, guys, but without further ado, this is, just one of those times within Dragon Ball that I feel like I was personally called upon to do this video, because again, if anybody has been vocal about Vegeta getting his due diligence and all, his worth and all of that, I feel like it's been me. Where do we even begin now that Beerus has just casually dropped this bombshell that the God's power does not start or end with Ultra Instinct for that matter? This is simply just the Angel specialty. Now, right away, I want to let you guys know that unless I state that something is from a certain time in the canon manga, then most things I'll be going over are speculation, so quick disclaimer on that. Without catching a glimpse of anything Beerus has to show Vegeta, however, the first instance to come to my mind regarding a form or technique more exclusive to the Gods of Destructions would be Toppo in the Tournament of Power. Coincidentally enough, he battled against Vegeta at that time as well. This already makes this some sort of a weird parallel regarding Vegeta and learning to harness power typical of a God of Destruction. Now, obviously, whatever Beerus is about to show Vegeta may be something completely different from anything we've ever seen before, and there were a couple of different factors that led to Toppo harnessing that specific power as well that may not specifically apply to Vegeta. When Toppo underwent this strange form in the Tournament of Power, he chose to forego his former sense of justice and succumb to the will of the Destroyer God, accepting the power before him. I think I'm fine going on record right now saying that I don't think I see Vegeta getting some buffed up purple form like Toppo, as both he and Goku are really naturals in turning these techniques and powers into inventions all their own. Another speculation I had regarding this new power Beerus spoke of, that at the moment we'll refer to as sort of a God of Destruction mode for him, I guess, is that this form could be very significant in terms of comparison to Ultra Instinct. Although this panel didn't really show or say too much, Vegeta saying that Ultra Instinct isn't really his style and Beerus pretty much agreeing with him seems extremely relevant as foreshadowing what this power could hold. A few days ago I had a conversation with my boy Vocal Pineapple about this, and we shot some theories back and forth, but one that really stuck in my mind was this theory that this new God of Destruction mode Vegeta is on his way to possessing could be something along the lines of an opposite of Ultra Instinct. Now, I know that might be kind of, weird to wrap your head around right now, but let me explain. For a few years, and really even to this day in some places around the internet, the speculation that Vegeta would get the offensive version of Ultra Instinct still lives on, even though this chapter, in my opinion, kind of deadened that whole theory. This new power Beerus is about to display, however, could be the closest thing to offensive Ultra Instinct for Vegeta, as we're going to get though. When Goku first tapped into Ultra Instinct during the Tournament of Power, it was for a while regarded and praised for its beyond impressive defensive qualities, as Goku went from not being able to lay a finger on Jiren to grabbing the attention of every single god spectating the tournament. His movement was something extraterrestrial, as Goku was literally impossible to touch for the majority of his opponents, and who could forget that legendary Kamehameha against Kefla where he just literally skated across her beam. Since Ultra Instinct has now been referred to as sort of the Angel specialty, Beerus and Vegeta certainly seem like the types to be more focused on pure power, battle intelligence, and experience, and I think this may be sort of where this new form comes in at. Ultra Instinct is the state of absolute awareness and perfect stability of oneself in every single aspect, enhancing strength, speed, and durability many times over, to the point where Goku seemed to ascend to godhood before our very eyes. The opposite of this could still be true for Vegeta and Beerus while harnessing the same effects. A God of Destruction mode, in my opinion, definitely wouldn't be a form built around finesse such as Ultra Instinct. But honestly though, with Beerus acting like this towards Vegeta, I can't help but imagine a scenario where maybe Beerus even feels, the slightest sense of guilt for what happened to Vegeta's people, with Vegeta still not knowing Beerus' role in that. Now, Beerus definitely, at a glance, doesn't come off as the type to feel any type of regret, especially since he's a destroyer god, and things like that just kind of come with the territory, but it just makes you wonder. It's really just kind of hard to fathom Beerus feeling any form of guilt at all, and as an answer to it, feeling like he has to take Vegeta under his wing, but if everything were to come out about the incident with the Saiyans, I'm not too sure how Vegeta would react or lash out. Especially since one of my most vivid early memories regarding Beerus in the lore with the Saiyans is him with his foot squarely on King Vegeta's head, but as far as we know right now, this has no relevance to the present day. I've also seen quite a few people speculate that Beerus' training with Vegeta and the power Vegeta will go on to possess will be really similar, if not revolve around the energy of destruction. Personally, I don't think this would happen, and I'd rather it really not be the case. For one, as I said earlier, Goku and Vegeta are very keen at turning techniques into something all their own, and even creating things to a certain extent. The energy of destruction, even in the anime, has been harnessed by multiple people, so I really don't think it would make much sense at all for this to be the case, especially since Frieza has overcome this power already as well. This would also tie back into the God of Destruction Topo theory, however, if this were to happen, since that instance would give Vegeta slight experience in handling this power already. But as I said, I'd really rather not even revisit the energy of destruction stuff if we're talking about Vegeta. This also more enforces the entire point of Vegeta wanting to train with Beerus as well. So many people we've already seen have overcome the energy of destruction, so I feel like it's more counterproductive for them to focus on that when Goku is just over here parading around what seems to be the perfect power. In the future, I expect our first instance of being able to see Vegeta's training put to use may be in the upcoming battle against Granola. As Granola finds out more and more about the resurrection of Frieza, he's bound to learn of the handful of Saiyans that still exist as well, most notably Vegeta for being the son of the king. However, the dream of the Great Ape with the scar on his face may cause more trouble for Goku later on than we realize. Down below in the comments, I want to hear all of you guys' opinion on this one before the spoilers for chapter 69 begin to drop. What do you guys think is in store for Vegeta as he learns more about the techniques of the gods, and more importantly, a power that will allow him to finally surpass Goku without Ultra Instinct? Beerus has declined to directly train Vegeta, or anybody for that matter I guess, but the two of them are much more similar than they'd like to admit. So this mentorship is a match made in heaven.